This is the AEW Dynamite February 12, 2025 full show results video which takes place at HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. Max Caster is in the ring calling himself Platinum and that he known as the best wrestler alive to Big U Suck chance, and he shows the trademark for best wrestler alive. He says that he is giving an opportunity to face the best wrestler alive and says that he ran Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens out of the company and that he was the heart of the Acclaimed. Hangman Page's music hits as he comes through the tunnel and makes his way down to the ring, and Caster bails out of the ring and jumps the barricade. Hangman looks on wondering where Caster is, and Hangman sees Caster and then leaps over the barricade going through the crowd chasing after Caster. Then match started between Hangman Adam Page versus Max Caster, and the result of this match was Hangman Adam Page defeated Max Caster by pinfall after hitting the buckshot lariat. The next match happened between Death Riders versus the Undisputed Kingdom for the AEW World Trios Championship. The action is in the ring as O'Reilly is being triple teamed in the corner. Pac is tagged in and sends O'Reilly head first to the turnbuckle. O'Reilly takes down Pac with a kick and then tags in Strong, who chops Pac and then takes down Claudio, who comes in. Strong then sends down Yuta and slams him on Pac, then Strong covers Pac, but he kicks out at 2. Cole is tagged in as he hits Pac with a backstabber and then covers him, but Claudio comes in to break up the pin. Yuta is tagged in and applies a headlock on Strong, then Strong fights out, but it's not enough as Yuta picks up Strong and slams him down. Yuta covers Strong, but he kicks out at 2, then Pac is tagged in and snap suplexes Strong across the ring. In the end, Claudio gets a chair as he is then sent to the floor, but Cole and Strong as the ref has his back turned dealing with the chair. Yuta low blows O'Reilly and rolls him up for the pin, and Death Riders retains the trios title. After the match, Death Rider continue the beat down. Daniel Garcia's music hits as the TNT champion and 2.0 hit the ring to chase of the trios champs out of the ring. We go backstage with Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley. From behind, Adam Copeland hits Moxley from behind and send them into a room and shut the door, and they hold the door and grab the briefcase that contains the AEW World title and run off. Moxley and Shafir come out of the room and go after Copeland and Jay White. We go backstage with Renee Paquette talking to MJF about his match with Dustin Rhodes. MJF says Texas is not a real state and Dustin is not a real man. Hangman Page comes in and then MJF asks him if he has a crush on him and if Jack Daniels makes a cologne. MJF then tells Hangman he is a joke and the fans actually believe in him, and says tonight he is going to beat Dustin and do what Hangman has failed to do, become a 2-time AEW World Champion. The next match happened between Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata versus John Cruz, Aaron Solo, and Rosario Grillo, and the result of this match was Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata won the match by pinfall. After the match, Joe introduces himself and his brothers Hook and Shibata, and Joe says this is about 3 men who have a misunderstanding and the only answer is violence. Joe says what stands before you are 3 men who always have a problem and beat everyone to solve it, and what stands her is the ops. Joe then addresses Christian and the patriarchy, and this could have been real simple, but no, he continues to hide from the ops and can't drag him out of the dressing room because he is too chicken to show up tonight, and Joe then says next week the patriarchy versus the ops. We go to the back with Renee Paquette talking to Chris Jericho and Brian Keith about the bounty he put on Bandido, but Keith couldn't get rid of Bandido. Jericho says that he didn't yell at Keith and that this is a learning moment, and Jericho then challenges Bandido to a showdown in the ring, and Keith tells Renee to never embarrass him in front of Chris Jericho again. Back from the break, Renee is talking with Willow Nightingale as Marina Shafir comes in and kicks Willow, and Moxley comes in and says that Copeland is a dead man walking. Next up is the music for the ROH World Champion Chris Jericho, as he makes his way out of the tunnel and into the ring for this showdown, and Bandido's music hits next as he makes his way to the ring to Bandido chants. The lights go down as both men stand face to face and then back to back and walk to the corner of the ring. Both men take their hats off as Bandido runs. Brian Keith out of nowhere trips up Bandido as Keith and Jericho stomp him. The Outrunners come running out to even the odds, then Big Bill comes down with the Most Wanted poster. Big grabs Bandido and goes to chokeslam him, but the music of Powerhouse Hobbs hits as he makes his way to the ring. Hobbs nails Bill as Bandido kicks Bill, allowing Bill to pick him up and drop him with a big spinebuster. We go backstage with Copeland and Jay White holding the briefcase talking about their match at Grand Slam, and White asks Moxley if he is missing something. Copeland says that he has held a briefcase a few times in his career. Copeland says that if Moxley wants the briefcase back, he just can meet them in the ring at the end of the night. Back from the break, Renee Paquette is with Dustin Rhodes, who is talking up his match against MJF, and Dustin warns MJF the devil is here. The next match happened between Dustin Rhodes vs MJF. In the end, MJF works on the shoulder and arm of Dustin as it looks like Dustin will tap. He makes it to the ropes to break the hold, but MJF pulls Dustin and applies a crossface and Dustin is not responsive as the referee calls for the bell, and MJF won the match by referee stoppage. After the match, MJF chases the ref out of the ring and grabs the left arm of Dustin and wrenches it. Hangman Page's music hits as he makes his way down to the ring. Page hits the ring, as both men go face to face with cowboy-esque chants. MJF backs away slowly with his arm up and then turns and charges at Page, as we get a huge brawl. Security hits the ring to pull both men apart, but MJF breaks free and goes after Page, but is held back. Page breaks free and goes after MJF, who rolls out of the ring, then Page rolls out of the ring, as the fight spills into the crowd. Security tries to break up the fight, as the brawl heads to the top of the floor entryway. Security holds back MJF and Page and the fans chant "Let them fight." Security gets Page down to the main level, as MJF walks down the steps and grabs a beer from a fan and tosses it on him. MJF grabs and says Hangman sucks and he is a gutless coward and is a loser like all the fans. Hangman suddenly runs back out and hits the ring as Page attacks MJF and security hits the ring to pull both men apart again. Then we saw a match between Megan Bayne vs Maya World, and the result of this match was Megan Bayne defeated Maya World by pinfall with the F5. After the match as Bayne is leaving for the back, the music of Chris Statlander hits as Chris comes out. Both women do quick stare down, teasing a future match. The next match happened between Chris Statlander vs Penelope Ford. The bell rings as the match begins with both women locking up and Chris grabs Ford and takes her down in a headlock, but Ford breaks out of it. Ford grabs the arm of Statlander and puts her in a headlock. Statlander breaks out of the hold, for then grabs the arm of Chris and licks her across the cheek. Statlander grabs the mouth of Ford, but Ford slaps her, then Statlander kicks Ford and covers her for a near fall. Statlander then picks up Ford and drops her with a big vertical suplex. Statlander then is able to connect with a German suplex, then Statlander covers Ford for only a 2 count. Ford then hits a poison rana on Statlander. Ford then goes after Statlander, who hits her with a lariat and drops her with the Saturday Night Fever, and won the match by pinfall. After the match, Megan Bayne comes back out and Ford kicks Statlander out of the ring, as Bayne picks her up and drives her down to the floor. We go to a video package with Harley Cameron and the Mercedes Moan Puppet, funny stuff, and Harley then talks about winning the TBS title in her hometown of Australia. Then we saw a match between the Hurt Syndicate versus the Guns for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, and the result of this match was the Hurt Syndicate defeated the Guns by pinfall when Lashley connects on Colton with a huge spear, allowing Benjamin to cover Colton for the win, and retain the AEW Tag Team Championship. After the match, Lance Archer and Brian Cage come out and clap, hinting at a possible future World Tag Title matchup. We go to a vignette with Mariah May backstage talking how she is better than Toni Storm, who is not real, and May says how she does it all better. Then Adam Copeland and Jay White come out to the ring with the briefcase and Copeland grabs a mic. He says the AEW World title has been hidden in this briefcase for too long now, and Copeland puts the briefcase down. He goes to under the ring and grabs a case that is Spike and says he is hungry and wants to dig her teeth into the briefcase. Copeland says that if Moxley doesn't come out and accept his challenge for the title at Revolution, he will smash the briefcase. Moxley then walks out with Marina and says Copeland has no idea what he is doing and says Copeland nor the people know anything about the title. Moxley says he is the protector and shepherd of the title and he will show Copeland how much he cares. At Revolution he will break his neck and Moxley accepts Copeland's challenge. Copeland drives the Spike into the briefcase, then White takes down Yuta, but Claudio takes down White as Copeland goes to hit Pac with Spike. Moxley hits him from behind and Moxley then picks up Spike, but White grabs him from behind as Copeland spears him. Copeland and White leave the ring and White grabs a mic and says at Grand Slam Australia they will send the Death Riders into the ground, as the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's AEW Dynamite show? Let me know in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe the channel, like the video, and thanks for watching.